So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And there's the bell to start round one. Misses with the jab. The courage on display here is incredible. If you're a counter puncher, then basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
That jab doesn't find a home. That right hook's already working well. Uh-oh, the crusher in trouble. Looks like trouble was averted.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards. He caught him with a left hook. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what? Next round, you're getting it. You're going to get it. Kitchen sink.
What do we expect to see here in round two? Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
This counter-puncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
Counter-puncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter-puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Looking to land the hook. Throws the jab, but it doesn't score. Nice counter punch right up the middle. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Incredible work. Did you see that? Carver's been rocked. Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Tarver's been rocked. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Kovalev that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as the fighter, and the cornerman's got to put a firecracker on that fighter. Get out there and get the job done.
Great round, great round. Now, relax. Now, I don't want you to load up.
First minute, stick him on the end of a jab, and start going.
Let's get it started in round three. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Kovalev is dazed. Good job trying to back out of trouble.
Being dazed now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Oh my God, Johnny! Kovalev is hurt. Did you see that? Down goes Kovalev. One punch did the trick. Let's see it again in slow motion.
I've got to see that again.
One, two, three, four, five. Come to me.
Apparently it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
What resilience to be down and to be back up again, to get yourself back into fight again, to show your fitness and determination. Maximum respect.
The only fear you have with this fighter is has he punched himself out? So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. Kovalev is dazed. Sergey Kovalev goes down. And as we see it again, there's no way to get up when you get clipped with a shot like that.
Shot from the gods.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Are you okay?
Let's talk about Kovalev. Here we go to the fourth round. It's been a nightmare so far. What can they do to turn this around?
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Now you've got 2 fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Swing and a miss with that left hook. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Nice counter. Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
His stamina is off the charts. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity for them finally comes to a close.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Okay, I'm happy. I like that round. Good work. You're thinking just the same again, don't you?
Back into the fray here in round 5. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
The jab slightly off target. Caution being thrown to the wind. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's so hard to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. You'd like to see more jabs. The right hook misses. Misses with the straight left. He misses with that straight left. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. Not worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on. And there's the bell for round 6. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Through the straight left, but it won't score. A lot of effort being exerted here. As we burn through these rounds, this aggressive fighter continues to come forward, seemingly with endless energy, Johnny.
Todd, look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought, this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show him your boxing skills. Step out of the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use pain as a ball.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Kovalev that last round. You've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more, but it might come down to who's in better shape.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
Come on, switch on. Switch on.
Here we go, it's round 7. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Swing and a miss with that hook. punches. This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Uh-oh, and the crusher goes down. Wow, that impact was incredible. Let's take another look at it.
That's lights out right there.